So first, since the P's are really big at this conference, you need to pick your platform. So there are tons of social media platforms. I just gave you the most obvious ones, but you can pick out, a lot of these here. Instagram, I didn't talk about. Google Plus, because, who's really on Google Plus? Sorry, Google. But, you can kind of pick out any of these. And so, there are also even newer social media platforms. So don't take too long to learn all these, because then they might be outdated, because they say teenagers are not even on Facebook anymore. So if you have a teenager, or they're all on Snapchat, which I don't think any of us are on Snapchat. Who's on Snapchat? Wow. The real experts. See, there you go. So after you pick your platform, if you want to get better at one of these or get better at all of them, pick that. And then you pick your purpose on that platform. So this is kind of strategy, but you don't have to have it all honed down. So obviously first, you should learn about the platform a little bit and kind of learn what's going on that platform. So you can just kind of, if you're on Twitter, you can follow certain hashtags, and hashtag is that number symbol. So the hashtag for this conference is Rare 2013. So you can learn what's going on. What are people doing on there? What are people, what things, how are they connecting with other people? What are they making happen on that platform? And, at some point you start to do lots of other things. You start to connect with other people on a platform. You start to raise awareness, maybe. Maybe that's one of your strategic purposes. You may want to educate other people about your particular rare disease. And then, you can have calls to action. So if you want to fundraise using social media, which is done a lot, that's a great use for that. But so you think, and then you can start doing all of those things on any particular social medium. So pick your purpose. So you may have different purposes for different social mediums. So I use Twitter differently than what I use Facebook for. So you have to feel your way along and find out what's useful for each one. And then at some point, you pick your partners. So when I say partners, that can be what I call either willing partners, who are people you align yourself with, and you're, the Hunter syndrome community, which is what my son has. We're partners on social media. We retweet each other, we help each other find things, and then there's unwilling partners, people you follow on social media, and you kind of gain things from them and learn things. So it may be disease specific. You may broaden your partners to be more the entire rare disease community, like working with Global Genes and retweeting them and doing things like that. You may use it for the research option. Ethan, who was up here on the panel, is on Twitter, and so he does research, and so we connect on Twitter as well. So you can have lots of different partners on each different social media. So here's kind of an example of my progression in terms of partners. So obviously the Hunter syndrome community are my direct partners, and we work together. But then there's the rare disease community, who you can follow and learn more about that. And you can help them in terms of legislative efforts and things like that. Medical research, so learning more about the research side of things. The pharma industry, although there's not a lot of pharma on social media, there is a little bit here and there. So you can follow and connect with them. Then there's patient advocacy. So outside of the rare disease patient advocacy, there's other patient advocates that are very strong and we can learn a lot from and connect with. Then there's special education. As a lawyer, that's something close to my heart. So if you have kids with rare disease and they're in school, that's a really big issue in your day-to-day life. So that was for me. And then assistive technology. I'm just kind of a closet, tech person. So I like to see what can help our kids in terms of assistive technology. So that's kind of just my circle. Your circle may be totally different, or it may be, one particular area, and don't feel overwhelmed by that. But that's just an example. So, and speaking of social media being overwhelming, I think I wrote a post the other day called Why I Don't Unplug and Don't Feel Guilty About It. There's this whole social media addiction. Everybody should unplug. And, if you're not unplugged, I'm here to say, don't feel guilty. And so that's just my mantra. So resources for how to get better at social media. So you can find them. The first thing is yourself. Just experiment with things, other advocates. So you saw the people that were standing up. If you saw people at your table that were standing up for certain mediums that you were interested in, or some of the real experts that stayed standing at the end, those are great resources for social media. Also, I'll talk more about this in a minute, but I'll just say right now, the Mayo Clinic Social Media Health Network is a great resource for learning about social media. YouTube. You can go on YouTube just like on Google and, search for your question. How do I, create a username on Twitter? And there's probably a video about it. So that's really easy way to learn more. And another resource I send people to that's kind of basic is this GCF Learn Free has social media courses or short things on there that can help you find ways to better your social media skills.